What's up guys, Anders here with another video. Today we're going to talk about the ghillie and how after yesterday's video, Pearl Abyss decided to go in a different direction from even yesterday's approach. So some context is important for this issue. About 2 weeks ago, Pearl Abyss announced that the ghillie, or the well-known PvP outfit you can buy from the cash shop, will be getting some changes. You will no longer have your name hidden, and instead you will show as unknown adventurer while wearing a ghillie suit. So the idea is you protect the original intention of the outfit, the privacy or protection of your identity, but you fix the issue of tracking and the PvP advantage with ghillie. Now, in case you're unfamiliar with the game or what the ghillie suit does, this item allows you to hide your name over your character when worn. The main use of hiding your name is to protect your identity from others. It's really useful if you're at war with a lot of guilds and don't want to be identified immediately, but mainly it's used for making it harder to see you, going so far as using a certain die combination to make it especially hard on normal game settings. Now, this is a PvP advantage in that it allows classes that go invisible or move around quickly an edge in open world PvP. Now, fighting players with ghillie suits in forest areas or with heavy brush or in mob zones with heavy density make it really difficult to track them whilst they're wearing a ghillie. If you were in a guild versus guild open world scenario in a fight, you would oftentimes be told, make sure you wear your ghillie for the advantage it poses. The strange thing is though, ghillie doesn't actually work in what we would deem to be the endgame PvP Node War and Siege, right? The function actually gets disabled. In Red Battlefield, the instance PvP team deathmatch mode, the developers introduced no ghillie RBF rooms, so you could choose to play out matches without having to deal with ghillie players on both teams. In RBF, the annoying part for me was the fact that your allies sometimes looked like enemy players because you couldn't see their name because they're wearing ghillies. The biggest in-game workaround against the ghillie is using a flare or marking reagent item on the ghillie enemy player, but that takes forever to use and you're effectively getting yourself killed in any sort of engagement. They also added the ability to unveil ghillie players to some skills for a couple of classes, but the effect was never really potent enough to be useful. What I did, and I assume more commonly most people did, is to simply lower your graphical settings to low and decrease contrast. You were able to then track them a little bit more easily, but that never really made sense to me. Why is a game lauded for its visuals having to be put in effectively potato mode to play the game? Something honestly had to change, and 2 weeks ago we got that change. No more hidden names on ghillie. People for the most part rejoiced. There were a lot of vocal minority players, probably rats, who were angry and causing problems, but for the most part it looked like Pearl Abyss was addressing serious concerns that had plagued the community for years. Refreshingly positive. Then yesterday happened, and as I told you guys, they reverted the change. Instead, they introduced a new type of flare that was faster to use and would prevent the ghillie player from hiding their name for a longer duration. That still had the issue of putting the effort on the player who isn't spending money and wearing the ghillie. The non-ghillie player would need to carry an extra item just to counter a cash shop item. That is classic pay to win, and no one likes it. Now, for me, it's confusing, seeing as Pearl Abyss should be doing everything possible right now to improve the game, appeal to the masses, bring in new players, not appease sweaty ghillie rats. Bad press from your community is never good, so why they reverted the change yesterday is a mystery. I've seen the statement, oh yeah, Korean players, they love their ghillie, of course they're going to keep it around. I don't know about that. It could be true, but for me, the mythical Korean player is just like a myth or something you just say, something a community from a region says to blame someone. You know, Korean game, so yeah, Korean players are at fault, probably wanted this to happen. I don't know about that. I don't buy it personally, but luckily, enough of an outrage after the changes yesterday in test server that they reverted the change again. So we're back to ghillie, no longer hiding names, and instead will show unknown adventurer. A huge win for the community, but man, Pearl Abyss, you need to get your act together. You can't go back and forth on your changes. You have to have a vision, follow through with that vision, and accept the feedback. It's okay, you're gonna get feedback no matter what you do, and you're never gonna make everyone happy. You have to accept that. But here's the positive. I suggested as soon as we saw the original ghillie announcement 2 weeks ago, let the people who own ghillie cron the items. At least they'll have something, because no way are you seriously asking for a refund on an item you've been using for 4+ years. Now, if you just recently bought a ghillie, absolutely, I think you should get a refund. For the rest of us with ghillies on a ton of alts, have been playing a long time, outfit extraction is the best case approach, and at least we have that. Now, it's important to note that the outfit extraction will only work for ghillie purchases before August 25th when this update goes live. It's unclear if this will be a global update or for for Korea first and then the rest of the regions the following week, but most likely at least from August 25th and moving forward, we should be getting this change. So what do you guys think about the ghillie changes? Will you still use ghillie after the change? Have you ever even used ghillie? And if you have, do you go for treant camo or you go for the desert camo? Let me know in the comments. And that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Let me know what you guys think about today's video in the comments or over on our community Discord. We're now public and accepting new members, so follow that link, react to the comment to get your member role, and say hello. If you want to support the videos I make in small donations, you can follow the Ko-fi link below and buy me a cup of coffee. I love coffee as much as I love bells, so every coffee you buy me will be greatly appreciated and will of course come with some Discord perks. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon to get notified when I upload my next video. Remember, bell is good. As always, guys, thanks again for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.